Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This is Cody, and this is
Elijah.
And so this is my CrossFit coach, and we are doing a little interview. So we're gonna start off with a very basic question for you. You know what it means to be transgender?
I do now.
What does it mean?
It means you're transitioning from one sex to another.
Close, pretty much. Or just like you don't identify with the gender that you were born as.
Yes.
So you don't have to.
You're transitioning, you just...
Yeah. So yeah. Second of all, okay. Have you ever been like around any other transgender people besides me?
Not that I know of.
Nothing. What did you think like when you first heard that I was transitioning?
First thought, it's tough. You know, I guess I didn't really think much of it. Like, just is what it is. It's different, you know. It was something I wasn't, you know, didn't know about it. You know, and you hear stuff, but you don't really know anything until you actually deal with it. So, first, I guess I didn't really have any thoughts. I was kind of confused, I guess. You know, not really sure. But just kind of, I just kind of took it for what it was and rolled with the punches.
What were you like confused about or unsure about?
I guess I didn't get it. You know, I've never dealt with it, never been faced with that type of anything, so it was just kind of like something I had to just kind of deal with, I guess, or not deal with, and just accept it for what it was. So I just didn't know, unsure, uneducated on it.
Cool. How do you view it now? Like, how's it changed?
You know, it changed. I don't know if it has changed much, but I can see where it helped you. Like from who to who Cody is was, like I've told you before, it's a night and day difference. So I guess that if somebody were to go and make whatever decision they made, that if it was going to happen like it happened for you, then how can anybody argue with it?
Yeah. In
my opinion. So, you know, I still don't know. I'm not going through it. Nobody else that, like, our friend Jenny isn't going through it either. So, you know, she's not gonna understand it just as much as I didn't understand it. You know.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's worked for you. I mean, you're a completely different person. You may not feel that way, but you are.
How do you see like me being a completely different person?
I used to walk in here head down, not talk to anybody, but now you'll come in and bullshit and crack jokes, and you make fun of people. You just act like the rest of us now. You know, you're just kind of like bullshitting with the crowd. And
you're just an asshole now.
Yeah, you're an asshole like the rest of us. You know, you're miserable like the rest of us. You know, but before you were so, you know, not confident. You know, and I think it takes confidence to kind of tell somebody, oh yeah, well, if somebody says, hey, your hair looks funny, or making fun of you, make fun back. You know, you just take it and drive on, and that's not the way you want to be. So your confidence level is different. And it just takes confidence to be an asshole, I guess. I don't know.
Confidence. Has it ever made you feel like uncomfortable or inconvenienced you in any way?
No, it's been kind of I mean, it has not at all been an inconvenience, but it's been interesting to see how the community has reacted to it, and so it's been interesting to be, I don't know, whatever you want to call my position in this community as, I don't know, like a leader or whatever. I don't really want to say that, but
pack leader,
yeah. But to you know, for me to accept it, and for everybody in this place has accepted it. I mean, people took a while to catch on because it wasn't like, hey, guess what? You know, so some people found out, like, through just people calling you Cody, and like, why are you calling this person Cody and Larry and all this? Like, what does all that mean? And then they find out, and they just rolled with the punches like the rest of us. I mean, I guess we're just an accepting crowd. I don't know.
Have you, like, seen any negativity or, like, any, like, not so accepting or
maybe in the beginning people were like, for real? Like, you know, you say something to somebody like, you know, whatever, and they're like, well, I'm going away for 2 months. And they're like, are you kidding me? You know, they don't believe it. So, like, that would be the kind of negativity that came out. Like, you would say something to somebody and they're like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously?
Really?
Like, is that really a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a thing now. And then people are like, oh, shit. Okay, so what do? I guess we just start calling him Larry or Cody and then just move on. So that's kind of the way it's been, I guess. So negativity, no, but shock value, maybe.
Cool. You should probably tell people why you call me Larry. I think a lot of people ask me that question more than anything.
Okay, so Larry, putting credit card information into the system, and it was L Harmon, and I was like, oh, what's L stand for? And I said Larry, and Cody started laughing, so it started just Larry, and me and a couple friends, we started calling like each other Bad Larry, like we were tough guys or whatever. And I feel like it was pretty tough or strong for Cody to become Cody. This is kind of a Bad Larry, so, and then the middle initial L, so Larry, and I kind of like it. I hope it sticks. You know? Cody Larry. It's kind of like a NASCAR driver. So.
I think other people are calling me Larry more than Cody's.
Yes.
Thanks for that. Have you noticed like any negatives? Like how I have changed negatively?
Negatives for you, no. I mean, no.
Negatives for you. Negatives for...
Can't think of any. You know, your drive, it's really different. It's like everything you've tried harder in your fitness program. You've made more of an effort to talk to people, to be a part of the community. You just do more as Larry or Cody than you did. Like, you were more of a human being as Cody Larry than you were as a drone walking in and out, kind of, if that makes sense. And then Cody Larry kind of participates in life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So no negatives at all, no.
Were you ever afraid that it would like affect your business in like a negative way? It was like, oh,
you know, maybe, yeah. I was kind of like, you know, you know, when I learned about it, I was like, you know, whatever. It's not my place to judge or decide what's right for you or right for John or whatever. And then I look back and I'm like, what is everybody else gonna think? And it's like, you know what? Who cares? I think I said this to somebody. I was like, if they don't like it, like, is that the kind of person I want to be around? Like, if somebody's gonna hate crime you over this, it's like, dude, we don't want you here anyway. Like, what's your problem? Like, who are you? You know? Yeah. So, I guess it did cross my mind, but it was kind of like, well, let's see what happens. And then if I have to kick them out, I have to kick them out. Not you, them.
Yeah. Well,
you
know. What do you think about like transgender individuals not being able to compete in like the CrossFit Open or games, like officially? Like, say I was actually like a threat, and
you are a threat.
Whoa.
I mean, you know, comes down to it, like, you did compete in this gym in our leaderboard, and you did creep up on some of the guys who do well in here, and they had to push a little harder because Cody Larry was coming. So, like, what do I think about it? I don't know. I mean, you know, if they really wanted to dial it in and say, okay, let's take a 27-year-old man, test his testosterone level, and then test your testosterone level, and then and all these hormone levels, if they could make sense of it, then I don't see a problem with it. You know, I don't know what do they want. Like, your body naturally doesn't produce what a man's does, and so you're trying to match what it does. And I guess that comes down to the dosage that the doctor's giving. I mean, there's probably a lot more to it than I know. But for us, like, you competed in our gym and our leaderboard, and you have your position, and nobody said anything about it. Well, that doesn't count. Nobody put an asterisk next to it. Like, well, but Cody Larry, like, nobody did that. So for us, I mean, for where it counts as of right now, nobody really gave a shit, you know. They're just kind of like, all right, I gotta try harder because everybody's pushing us, you know. That's fun, you know.
Yeah. Do you think I could ever be capable of competing? Maybe not at the games level, but...
No, yeah, competing for sure. I mean, definitely. It's you're like me, you're a small guy, so it's like we're definitely at a disadvantage in a sport like this. But, and I mean, you can compete. You can go register right now and compete. But you're not, you know, to win, it's going to take a little more time. But
yeah.
Like I said, since this transition is happening, performance, everything has gotten better. So if you continue on that path, I mean, your only way is to continue to get better, you know? It's like it's gotten better so far, so I can't see it getting worse.
What, like...
I mean, if you listen to your coach.
Yeah, what path would my coach pick for me to get to competition level?
Bigger, faster, stronger, now, more, extra.
Extra. Okay, specifics.
I don't know. I mean, I think dialing in, you know, getting super dialed in with nutrition, making sure all that's balanced out. Anything you can do to help that, you know, coming in as much as you do. You know, running tends to burn up muscle mass. I know you like running, so there's that aspect. And, you know, just keep trying. It's still so new. And your gains have been so big, like I said a couple weeks ago, that those gains are going to keep happening, but then they're going to level out, and that's where the real work's going to come in. Like, you're going to level out to where Cody Larry is naturally, new natural, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where you're going to have to really put the work in.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get good fast, but then that balance is going to happen, where your body's ready and everything like that. Okay, this is you. Now, now it's like, okay, now we have to dial in that technique. Make sure we're eating good, enough, getting enough sleep, all those other things. You know, Matt Frazier sleeps 8 to 10 hours a night, eats all the time, works out all the time. So obviously it takes dedication on everything. It's so intense to be good.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not ready for that. I'd rather just coach it. Try to compete. I got a question for you.
All right.
What have you done different since all this started? What kind of big changes have you made?
Well, I've definitely, like, done better with nutrition. Like, I definitely eat out. Dial that in a lot more. I get more sleep. I've basically just taken all the stress out of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I've done differently so far. I think, too, like, I just started believing in myself more. I don't, like, doubt myself as much. And it's almost like as soon as you start seeing yourself and, like, who you felt inside on the outside, like, it all starts to align, and you just want your whole life to, like, kind of align. It just makes life easier. Like, every effort you put into anything, you believe that something good is going to come out of it. Whereas before, you're like, why?
How am I doing this?
Nothing is working. So, yeah.
So it felt like everything was, like, working against you.
Yeah.
And now you feel like it's all working out.
Yeah.
And it seems like it from our outsider's perspective. It's like, I don't know. It seems like it's working. So
I'm more motivated for sure.
yeah.
I think. I'm just hoping to stay on that track.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's easy for 3-6 months, and then it's like, it gets a little tiring at 6, 7, 8 months. You're like, I can do this still. And then you break through that plateau. Like all of a sudden, you're like, okay. 15 months in, you're feeling good. 21 months in, all of a sudden you get that lull again, and it's easy to fall off. People fall off all the time. I mean, you've been here for a while. You see how people do it. I'm dedicated. 3 months, they're like, you haven't been in here for 2 weeks. I seen you at McDonald's 3 times. It's like, that's what happens. So it's like staying on that track. It's easy now because it's all fresh and new, but staying there is going to be a huge,
for sure.
huge undertaking. You know, it's just stay dedicated, positive, you know? So that's how you be a man. That's how you be a woman, too.
That's how you be a decent human being.
Yeah. Stay dedicated to what you want. Stay true to your goals or whatever it is you're working towards. Just stay on the path, you know?
what do you say to all those people who have excuses as to why they don't work out?
It's like, understand that you have an excuse. Like, recognize that there's an excuse out there. You're making it, and face it. Like, oh, I got this coming up. I gotta bring the kid to baseball. I got school to study. I gotta jump off. You know, it's like, dude, like, do it or don't do it. I don't know what to tell people. Like, all they have to do is show up here. Like, me and my coaches, we will pretty much push you through and get you going, and then it's like your desire to get stronger, to push faster. When I say do another rep, grab the bar, do another rep, or hey, that looked easy, let's do a little more weight, or hey, let's back off, let's do better technique, and keep that body moving quickly. But listening, I guess, might be the hardest part for people.
Yeah.
Stop making excuses and start listening.
Yeah, it's like, if you really want something, then you're gonna find a way to do it, not make excuses.
Yeah. I'm sure you made a lot of excuses prior to your transition.
Oh, yeah.
You know, talking about big decisions, then you probably made a lot of excuses going to that.
Yeah.
Reasons why not to, and then...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was probably hard to pull the trigger, but you did, you know? It's like, it's all the same, you know? Yeah, it's hard, but it's like, step your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Put your shoes on and go run, or whatever the case may be.
It's all about putting action into things. So.
If you want to do it, you know? Do it.
That's all I gotta do. Just do it.
Nothing to it but to do it.
All right. Last question.
Oh boy.
How big is your dick? Just kidding. All right. So overall, like, do you see this as being a positive for Auburn CrossFit or Auburn or?
I think it's a positive for people to see. You know, it's trying not to say that those people are out there, but it's like there were black people in the whatever there were. You know, it's like it's a progression of life. Women couldn't vote.
Yeah.
Right. It's like now women can vote, and then there was gay people. And it's like, does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, gay people can't get married. Can they get married? Let them be miserable like the rest of us, you know? It's like, you want to transition, go ahead. Like, life's still going to suck on some levels, right? It's still going to be hard.
Yeah.
You know, do your thing. Let's get on with it. Let's just, I mean, I guess what do they call it? Equality, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see what the problem. I don't see what's so hard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you were raised differently, I don't know, but I was like, okay, man, it's 2015. Like, all right, let's roll on.
Yeah, I think people, it's just fear of, like, unknown. People don't really know.
But they don't need to know. Do they?
Yeah, well, they want to, apparently.
Do they need to know? Do people need to know? Like, what do I need to know about it? It is a thing, right? I don't need to know what it's like to be gay. I don't need to know that, right? I mean, you don't need to know what it's like to be with my wife.
No.
You might want to. but you don't need to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know, I just need to accept it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it's like to be Native American. I never will.
Well, I think that's what's so great, like, about just coming in here in the gym. Like, you all come here to do the same thing, and you do it, and then you leave. So it's like the same thing with life. Like, you're all on Earth to do the same thing. It's just to live.
We're all miserable.
We all get caught up in stupid shit.
Yeah. We all get caught up in stupid shit. We all get stressed out over stupid shit, and we all... It's cool. I mean, the gym is cool. The gym is probably... I might say I'm pretty surprised or grateful or happy that everybody's been accepting of the whole situation. I mean, it started off with, you know, this is pretty, like, conservative town.
Yeah.
And then I had half my clientele were lesbians.
Hey, I was the first.
I know. But then it's like, so we had to accept that, and we did. There was no issues there.
Yeah.
And then we get Cody Larry comes in, taking his shirt off, and like, what's up, bro? So it's like, you know, that's another thing that everybody's just like, oh, whatever, dude, do your thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way this community, everybody else should be like us. We're amazing.
Right? I agree. Alright, well, that concludes that. Unless you have anything else to add.
No, I got nothing. I'm good.
Alright. Bye, guys.